Okay, sorry about that. I thought I was recording, but it wasn't. So I'm gonna um, skip all the introductions and stuff that I had initially done, and we are gonna hop right into some pre-submitted questions. Thank you to those who submitted some questions, and then once we get through those, I'm happy to take any more live questions. So it is March the 14th, 2025. I will post this in the group after for those who couldn't attend and get their questions answered live, and those who couldn't make it. So the first question that we had was, at a minimum, what are some of the basic marketing things that we should always be doing, and never stop doing? So the first thing is going to be something that you're probably not going to expect me to say. The first thing is to be, and this is kind of in my newsletter that I just sent out, and y'all, I know it's very long. Please, please, please give me feedback. If it is too long, if there's a way, it's like, hope we don't need to read all that or see all that, or maybe each of those parts are good, but maybe put each part in a separate email once a week. Please let me know. But I'm wordy and I have a lot in my head that I want to share, and I just try to dump it all out at one time. But anyway, at a minimum, is you need to have a well-defined and profitable niche for your business. Now, a niche can be as specific as the exact type of client and service you offer and your business method. It could be that, I only do group counseling for adults. It could be I do EMDR therapy of all ages. So it can be broad, but it's still specific. So that way, one, people know you are the go-to person for that thing. That alone, being that person for that thing, will carry more weight than you can possibly imagine. It's so easy for somebody to remember one person for one thing, then, oh, call so and so because she does this and she does this and she does this, and she might be able to help you with this. But if you say, I'm looking for a male therapist for teenage boys, like there should be one person that comes to mind if somebody specializes in that, instead of, oh, well, call so and so. I mean, he's a guy, but I don't know exactly what he specializes in, or he does ABC. So the same thing for you. You want to be that go-to person, which is one of the reasons why I decided to niche down further and do away with coaching and just focus on websites for health and wellness professionals. Because when you can do so many things, and all of you can do so many things, with the all of the experience you've had with how your degrees and profession has trained you, but when you focus in on the one thing that brings you the most joy, that is the most profitable, um, of the services that you offer, you will be so invested in your business and it will not feel difficult, and it will be so easy to market your business. And you will be happy and not burn out. And it just makes everything easier. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is your website. You cannot, in this day and age, market your business and expect people to um, just hire you or book with you if they can't go online and see that you have a website that looks like you are a legit business. And you may have been in practice for 15 years, but if your website looks like it's 15 years old, people are filtering you out because they transfer that to your level of skills. And they think that you haven't evolved in your practice. So your website, a modern, up-to-date website is key. It doesn't have to be big. A scrolling one-page website that is done well and has exactly what somebody needs, and a way to contact you is a great place to start. But aside from that, having that website, and of course you want it to be SEO optimized so that it does better with Google search. But in order to grow your website's authority and for it to work best for you over time, you have to be building your SEO, and that comes with adding new content to your website, which we do through adding blog articles to your website. The more content on your website, the more Google has to search on your website, the more Google has to serve up to people when they're searching for things on your website. The more content you have about a specific topic, the more Google can say, oh, okay, well, this person is an expert in and helping people with ADHD or anxiety or sleep issues, whatever your specialty is. So that is key. So once you get that website up, do not think your job is done. You have to keep it current and you have to be adding content to it. And you're not going to be changing your service pages every month, but you can be adding blog posts every month. Um, the next thing is after you have your niche and your website that's SEO optimized and you're adding fresh content is you want to make sure you're on all of the most relevant, high-ranking online directories. If you are a local business, that hands down is Google Business. If you're an online business, that's still a possibility. It's just you can do it. You don't have to publish your address. You can put that you deliver your services to clients elsewhere. Um, Google's thinking like local delivery, but anyway, you can still do it. But Google Business Profile, one is it's another strong signal to Google that you're a business with a presence on the webs on the internet, and your contact information needs to match exactly what you have on your website. So whatever you have in your footer for your business address, your business hours, your phone number, email address needs to be identical in your Google business listing. So much so that if you are 123 Apple Drive and you spell out the word drive on your website, spell it out on your Google business listing. If you abbreviate DR for drive on your website, abbreviate DR on your Google business listing and every other business listing out there. Um, you know, Psychology Today is the most high ranking and has the most domain authority for therapists. That's just a fact. Psychology Today will always outrank someone searching for a local business unless they search for you by name. If they search for you by name, your business may come up, but more than likely your Psychology Today listing will come up before your website unless they put your business name. So I hope that helps. And with your Google business listing, if you are a local business, and you see people at your office, um, that really, really helps because the whole point of Google Business and Google Maps is to direct people to the resource they're looking for closest to them. So you only have so much control of how high you're going to rank in that. If your office is literally a half mile from where the person is standing there searching, you're going to show up more than someone who is 5 miles away. But they also take into account other things, but just so that you understand the whole point of Google Maps. And then you can add updates. So the same way you would add updates to social media, you can post to your Google business listing. The recommendation is 1 time a week. If y'all want to learn more about that, let me know. But if you are online business, I think there are other things that you need to focus on other than weekly Google Business Management updates, Google Business Profile updates, but you do want to have a Google Business listing if you can, as well as, like I said, other industry related business listings. Your Facebook business page, your LinkedIn profile and business page, well, anything that's a business page counts as another online listings, and we call these citations. So the more citations you have for your business, the greater your presence on the internet, the better your authority will be when people are searching, and they have more things to show up and share to people. So your niche, your website, your online listings, and then after that, networking. When you are a service provider, you're in the business of people and serving people. So people need to know you and interact with you in order to know, like, and trust you. And that's how before the internet, every business was built. And even with the internet, the businesses that are doing very well and continuing to grow, it's because the business owner has continued to put themselves out there and meet new people and growing your network. So never stop networking, whether online communities like we have is one way to network. So there's lots of, online communities, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, live things like I put together for y'all, in-person events, conferences, one-on-one networking, having, um, scheduling a one-on-one lunch or a coffee chat or anything like that. And then, of course, I don't like to call them sales calls, but, one-on-one marketing, going out and meeting people one-on-one, whether it's cold calling or I highly recommend making appointments with people ahead of time to go and talk to them. So you never want to stop networking. And whenever you're doing your networking, along with that comes follow-up. You don't, meet or connect with someone one time. You have to build a genuine relationship. And ideally, you're networking with people that you can collaborate with and reciprocate referrals, because the best way to grow your business is with a network of a few people that you can refer to them and they can refer to you, than to have a network of 30 people that every so often one of them refers someone to you. So that's how it was in healthcare when I was in healthcare marketing and law firm marketing. All of our 80% of the business came from a handful of physicians or a handful of other um, financial planners or accountants, and refer business back and forth to each other. So think of what we call allied professionals, people in other fields who serve the exact same client as you. You meet one need, they meet another, but you have the same client in mind, because when someone refers someone to you, when someone is referred by someone they already know, like, and trust, and they refer them to you, that know, like, and trust factor automatically transfers to you. And you didn't do anything. You haven't even met the client yet, but because of that relationship you have nurtured with this referral source, that is better than anything you can ever do. Um, and even if you're filling your practice or your business with those types of relationships, they will help keep your business full if you do that long enough and well. Never take them for granted. Don't Never stop doing that, because when you do, you will see a decline, because naturally, relationships, when they're not as strong as they used to be because you're absent, the business will get referred elsewhere. Okay, and then after that, so that you those four things, always, always, always. Then after that, whatever you most enjoy, because whatever you most enjoy, if you want to add on to that, is what you're going to do consistently. So if you love social media, do social media. If you don't, don't. If you like guest presenting, podcasts, conferences, events, do that. Just put yourself out there doing that. If you like um email marketing. I mean, it is important to have your own email list. Even if you're not doing email marketing, you do want to have a list of all of your contacts, your clients, and referral sources, because that is one way that you can communicate with people. Social media goes down, websites go down, all that other stuff. And you can't control when Google shows your business in a search result or your social media post, but you can control when you send a message out to people in your contact list or your email list. Your message will end up in their email inbox. They might not see it or open it for a few days or a few weeks, but it is there until they see it and delete it. And hopefully they read it first. So I hope that helps. All right. Next question is, if you're going to start doing like one-on-one marketing or conference marketing, like at a very basic, like what marketing materials should you have in your marketing packet? So, when I was in healthcare marketing and legal marketing, it's very professional to have a branded folder with your business name, and then inside you can put your information that you want to give to each person. You don't have to have this, but it does help you be very organized. And if you're meeting with multiple people, you can hand each one of them a packet. It also looks very professional, but just think about your audience. If you're not meeting in a corporate or like a high level professional setting, a packet's not expected. But if you are meeting with people at that level, a packet kind of is standard, like a folder with your logo on the front. And then inside, at a minimum, you want to have your business card. Um, you also would want to have either a brochure or flyer. Well, okay, so let me just, a flyer would be, like an 8.5 by 11 page, front, front and back, whatever works for you. There are things called rack cards. So it looks like a brochure opens up. So some people do brochures. A rack card is less expensive because it's just, I don't know, it's like that. And it's usually a little bit thicker. And you can print on the front and the back. And what's so great about rack cards is one, they're cheaper. And you don't have to think of as much content, but you want to put the right content. But it's just, they're really easy to hand out because they're not flimsy like a brochure. They're a very economical way to have some marketing material. With a brochure, typically, it folds out and you've got three sides and then you have stuff on the back. They both kind of have their time and place. When I was in healthcare marketing, um, with one company, we only ever had one brochure, and that's all we ever used. Another company, we had a primary brochure and a rack card for every service. So you can do that. You can have a general brochure for your practice and then a rack card where you're marketing like any specialty services that you have. So that gives you some options. Um, you always want to have something to leave behind, either ink pens or some, of course, pens are very, very popular. People use them or sticky notes or whatever, but just think about whatever you do, you want it to be something that the person will actually keep and use, not stick in a drawer I mean, and it needs to be appropriate to them and their work. If you're calling on professionals, you're not bringing them koozies, for their, after work drinks. So those are some popular things but ink pens, everybody loves ink pens. Everybody needs ink pens. Sticky notes, if you do sticky notes, make sure they're quality that when you peel them, they actually stick. I've seen some really cheap ones that curl up and don't stick. Those just get thrown away. But there's a whole lot of things. If you want to look at, it's called the number four, and the word imprint, forimprint.com. They will send you a free catalog and you can just look and see there's tons of things. You can order from them or somewhere else, but that's one of the things that I just like to see what's readily, easily available and popular. Is just getting that catalog. Um, Stickers. So another popular thing is when you go to meet with someone, if you're networking, is bringing a little treat if it's appropriate and something appropriate to them in the setting and putting your sticker on it. So, um, let's say you're bringing a little box of cookies or muffins or something like that. You can put your sticker on it so they know who it came from. We have a question in the chat about what about using your picture on your brochure? Absolutely, yes. You are a one-on-one service professional provider. Unless you're a group practice, you're not going to put all of your therapists on your brochure. But nothing connects more than human to human, face to face. So I am a huge believer in putting your headshot on your business cards, in your email signatures, on your marketing material, like on your brochure or rack card, with a little bit of info. And the amount, don't go overboard. Like people tend to want to make their brochure, basically their resume. It's not about all of that. You want to address, just like on your website, you want to speak to their pain points and problems and the transformation and outcome of working with you. Put your credentials on the backside. Someone's not first asking, what are your credentials before I talk to you? They want to know that you understand their problems and that you can solve them, period. That's the first thing they look for. Um, okay, let's see what else. Oh, so stickers can, and you can actually order all this. You can make your flyers and brochures and stickers in Canva, or you can work with someone local. There's, print shops and graphic shops all over. Vistaprint does them also. If you're going to be marketing at a conference, so in addition to having your business cards, flyers, brochures, rack cards, little pins or giveaways, you definitely will want to have a tablecloth with your name. Now, if you're just starting out, now every conference you go to is going to give you a solid color tablecloth. You can use that. You can buy a runner. So it doesn't cover the whole table. It's maybe about this wide. Oh, that makes me look really wide on the screen with this um, camera angle. But I want to say it's about 2.5 or 3 feet wide, but it's long. So you drape it over the table. So your logo is, let's say this is the front of the table, like where the tablecloth comes down. This is the tabletop. Your logo's but going to be right here. So the runner is draped like across the top of the table and down. So your logo's right there. That's a very inexpensive way to brand your table. Um, versus a full tablecloth, which could be a few $100s. And if you get a tablecloth, standard conference tables are 6 feet, not 8 feet. So you can get a tablecloth in 6 foot or 8 feet. You can get them with an open back. So if you want the back of your table open because you're going to store things back there, or just, the backside covered. I recommend the backside covered, like a full cover, because you never know what a setup might be like, and you might be at a community event and there's no wall behind you and you just don't want people to see all your stuff. You can get fitted table covers, tablecloths as well, which I like the ones that kind of just go straight to the corner and go down. They look really nice, and you're not tripping over the tablecloths. Signs and banners. You can get the retractable banners, either tabletop or standing. Those are good. They're very, very versatile. The only problem with those is when you do them, you want to be very, very clear on what your services are, because if you change your services or stop offering services, you have to get a whole new banner to remove that. So, if you use them, maybe don't list all the things that you do. Maybe you can make it a little more general, and talk about your specific services on your brochure and rack cards, because those are easy to edit and reprint. Okay, let me see. And so that's the two pre-submitted questions. Trying to think. So let's see some other things that maybe came up this week that I can add. And if we don't have any more questions, we'll wrap up after this. Um, this came up this week in helping a client who wanted to start marketing on with a Facebook business page. So we set up their Facebook business page, and what's your first instinct? Because Facebook suggested, and that is invite all of your friends. No, no, like don't stop, stop, stop. Because this is what happens. It's a logical thing because we're thinking, oh, we want all of our family and friends and all of our contacts to know that we have a business page. We want them to follow us so they know what we're doing and so they can refer to us. But this is the problem. When you add all of them, and most people, if they like you, will accept. So now you have all these followers who aren't necessarily, and most likely not, your ideal client or referral source. So when you post on your business page, there's going to be no engagement. And Facebook is going to take that as well. People aren't interested, so they're just not going to um, push any of your content out. And they only start off when you make a new post, and I'm just using Facebook as an example. Instagram kind of works the same way. I know a lot of people use Instagram, especially if you work with like a younger audience, or if you're you know, in your 30s or less, Instagram's real popular. When you post something, Meta only shows that to maybe 1 to 2% of your followers. So if you have 100 followers and they send it to 10 people and one of 10 people likes or comments, like they're not showing it to anybody else. They're like, their own followers aren't interested in this. But if you invite the right people, um, colleagues, potential referral sources, um, clients, if you're permitted, depending on your industry. If you're in mental health, you can't invite your clients, but invite people who you know use your services or want to refer to your services when you post. And let's say you have 50 of those people, they send it out to five, and three of the five like it or comment. Facebook is like, great. Now they're going to push it out to a higher percentage of your followers. And if more of them engage with it, they're going to push it out to more. So, that's why I don't recommend investing heavily in social media until you have those other foundations set up, because you're not going to get as much traction with social media as social media platforms and would want you to think, not organically. So what we're talking about is organic social media marketing. You're not paying, you're not doing ads or sponsored posts, just you posting your content naturally. So, yeah, don't invite your aunt, your cousins, and your neighbors and your classmates from high school to follow your business page unless there's individual people in those groups that would be a potential client or would refer potential clients to you. So, what to do if you've already done that and it's too late? Well, I know this might sound unorthodox, but you could create a Facebook or Instagram post or a story or whatever you want to, and just say, "Hey, thanks everyone for following me. Just want to remind you here I post about ABC. If that's not really for you, it's okay. If you want to unlike or unfollow my page, we'll still be friends." Some people might unsubscribe, they might not. Unfortunately, I think a lot of times people just the damage has been done, but you just want to, at that point, if you've already invited everyone, just make sure moving forward that you're really mindful about who you're inviting to your page and how you're marketing your page, and post really good content that those people would want to engage with. And eventually you will grow a larger audience of the right people, and the people who love you and want to support you, but aren't really commenting, it won't have that much more of an impact. All right, then. Well, that is all we have for today. So, thanks for those who submitted the questions and who were able to join. And we'll do this again next month. And we have a focus session coming up. Let me see when that is, a work focus session. We did one last month, but we did a whole day one on getting our social media planned for the year. So I decided it went really well. So we're going to do another co-working session on a Saturday, and it's going to be from 10 to 4 p.m. again, Central Time. Come when you can, leave when you have to. We start on the hour, and we share what our goals are for the next 50 minutes, work for 50 minutes, and then we come out. And if you have to leave, that's fine. But it's just going to be open-ended, like work on whatever you need to for your business. If you need to work on marketing tasks, if you need to clean out your office or files, if you need to catch up on client notes or billing or your bookkeeping or whatever. It's just dedicated time for you to focus and get that done. Sometimes if you have small kids, it's easier to maybe do that on a Saturday when your friends can be playing with cousins or neighbors, and you can block out a few hours, because it is hard sometimes during the work week when you're with clients back to back to back, or out there making sales calls or marketing calls or meetings or whatnot. So anyway, hope to see y'all then. And as always, if you have any questions outside of this, just pop them in the group, and I'm happy to share, and everyone else can chime in with what's been helpful for them. Y'all have a great weekend.